My name is Chodak. I'm a clinical dietitian at the Center for Community Health and Prevention with URMC. You are in my kitchen, and it is getting close to back to school time, and I know I'm thinking about making healthy snacks and setting up my house and my pantry for how to feed my guys on a busy day and what I might do. So I am actually going to try and set up, see this empty pantry right here? I have cleaned it out, which is the first step, right? We always have that drawer that has snacks or chips or whatever. So I cleaned it out. I moved all the stuff over. We'll see what happens to that stuff. And I wiped it down so that I have a clean slate. And then I also purchased some organizers. I love to organize. So these are cool little drawer organizers that I will use to identify food groups for packing snacks or lunches. And so I think that's the key that I always try to focus on. You guys know me by now. Fiber, 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 but also diversity and the 5 food groups: protein, grain, fruit, veggie, and dairy, right? And so as we're thinking about what's healthy for our kids, our families, and what might be a healthy lunch or a snack, I think about those things. And so kind of categorizing it is very helpful in kind of assessing what do I need to buy at the store and what might I put in a snack or lunch. So I'm going to use one of these totes, and eventually I will get a little label maker and just kind of put a little like grain or whatever. So we're going to start with grains. Those are generally the easiest ones to find. I have a bunch of stuff here. The one I'll show you first is, and it's based on preference too, right? So we're trying to be healthy, but we also want our kids to eat it. So make sure you talk to your kids too about what we want to eat, or yourself or your spouse, right? So my son loves these little crunchy oat bars, and they are, let's see, they have 2 grams of fiber for both of these bars in here, which is nice. For adults, we're striving for about 25 grams of fiber. Honestly, for kids, it can depend. And then I'm also trying to minimize added sugars. We don't want to minimize total sugars. We want to minimize added sugars, so sugars that were added to this bar. So this one has about 11 grams per two of these bars. So that's high, but honestly, it's one of those things that I believe offsets for my family. You could make a different choice if you wanted to, so this is kind of going in. So I'm basically going to take these bars, right? So we're going to put them in here and make it nice, like make them clear. I find that like if you are able to see everything, it kind of makes it a little bit nicer. And so it just looks good. And then you're going to want to eat it. So I'm just going to put some bars in here. Other bars that are not exactly the healthiest. Honestly, they're pretty, they don't have a ton of fiber, and they have 16 grams of added sugar. But again, we're eating them. That's just a personal choice. So they're these little bars. They have fruit in them. And so I'm going to put those in there too. Again, count as a grain. Okay, so I'm going to mix that up. So this is my grain section. Now, again, diversity is key, right? So then these other grains, I got Ritz crackers. Let's see what we got going on. So it's just these, right? The individual ones. So per fresh stack, which is 5 crackers, we've got no fiber, right? And 3 grams of added sugar. So they're basically like just a carb punch, and they're not even a whole grain. But you could get whole grain crackers like, find them, I have them here, Triscuits, and package them yourself individually. And these have 3 grams of fiber per 6 crackers. So these would be a much better choice because they're whole grain and they are higher fiber. So that's why I have them around too, is I'm going to individually package these with some reusable snack bags too. So it's all about options, right? We're not ever perfect. And then depending on kind of what the limitations are with the school or your work or whatever, you can often have a combo snack. So this I'm going to put in a different section. So this is with peanut butter. So again, if you're a nut-free facility, you don't want to get it. Okay, so here's my grain thing. So you're going to see me. I'm going to put this, I think I'm going to do it on top. So I'm just going to slide this guy. And there's my grains, and I can label it. So then the next one I chose is fruit. If I put like any fresh fruit, like a peach or whatever, it's going to get crushed in a backpack or a pouch. So I'm trying to find options other than like a smushed banana or a smushed peach to put into a lunch or a snack. So I have gotten these little fruit cups that I grew up with as a kid. Again, thinking about fiber and added sugar. So that 1 cup will have 1 gram of fiber and no added sugars. So that's awesome. So it's got a little bit of fiber, it's got taste, and it's fruit, right? So it's also got nutrients in it. and it's gonna taste good and give them a little energy throughout the day. So I'm just literally making my fruit section. This is gonna be for like non-fresh fruit options. There's another option. So there's, again, diversity is key because, again, you don't want to get bored. So I'm going to mix these things up. These are like the little fruit cocktail things. So I'll have those as an option too. The goal for me, since my son is 9, is I want to have him as involved as possible in building his own snacks and stuff, because then it builds the autonomy, the capability, and then, you know, a future eater. So this one has 1 gram of fiber and no added sugars again. So it's kind of this mixed. So it's just kind of a good gauge. Also got this guy, again, no sugar added. Just open it up. And it's helpful in a pinch because it feels like it takes very little prep. And then honestly, you've got it set up for when you go shopping and you just refill. You can constantly see what you need to pick up so that you're not having to recreate the wheel, you know. If you were fancy, what you could do is put the spoons on the side right here, so that whoever was grabbing this would remember to have a spoon. So I might end up doing that. So I just did, this is the second type of fruit cup that I'm doing here. And this one's Dole, no artificial sweeteners. We don't trust the front of the label, we always look at the back. So this one is 1 gram of fiber and no added sugar. So that is huge, and that's a great find there. So we're gonna take the fruit and throw it in there. Okay, next. Protein, right? Protein's hard, especially if you have an issue where there's not going to be refrigeration. So again, you can do the standard cold cuts or kind of leftover meats or whatever you want to do, but I'm constantly looking for different options. And so we're a jerky family. This is turkey jerky. I don't really look at much on this. I'm looking for protein, so I know there's protein in here. So I'm going to open this up. Again, if you got little baby hands and people who are on the go, you want to make it easily accessible. So the packaging comes out and like literally it's going to sit in here, right? These. So these are great. So this is a double dip. So this has protein in it, but it also has 6 grams of fiber per ounce, which would be a palmful. So this is a great way to add protein to a snack or a meal, but also fiber. So beans are great, and they taste like stuff. So this is the sea salt one, which we like, so that's going to go in here. And I'm going to have to individually wrap these, just because otherwise that whole bag is going to go. They also have buffalo style, which is my personal favorite. This one is a different type of bean. So again, they're not all made the same. This is broad beans, so different nutritional profile. This has 5 grams of fiber. So these are going in here. Again, depending on if you have a nut-free facility or not, you could do like almonds, we have pistachios, and then I also like pumpkin seeds, so it's a healthy fat, it has protein, it has fiber, and then know this is so this has 9 grams of protein, doesn't really matter the amount, and this one doesn't have any fiber actually, because the serving size is a quarter cup, but still, great, okay? And so that's going to go in. This is my protein section, and it doesn't have to be refrigerated. So it's a nice option. And the protein and the fiber are the things that are going to fill those bellies up. Okay, so we have protein, we have grain, we have fruit, we need veggies, right? These are rough. So you can do the refrigerated kind, but I'm constantly always kind of looking for other alternatives, again, that are shelf stable. So this is where I got these guys. It's just nice to mix things up, you know? Why get bored? Have fun with it. So again, with the packaging, so if you're mindful of packaging or cost, so this is $4 for this like one, I think it was like a 6 or a 4 pack. You could buy literally a can of these and then individually pack them in your own things, making sure not to use glass if your child's like school doesn't allow glass or whatever. But so for me, for now, in this video, I'm using convenience, and I'm just putting these in the thing. And starting where you start is good. So like I could start with the prepackaged stuff knowing, okay, I'm going to see how this lands with my family. I'm going to try it out, see if everybody likes it. And if we like it, I'm going to come up with something more sustainable that uses less packaging. So these have no fiber, but a whole bunch of nutrition. And they're counted as a veggie. Another one, so I count this as a veggie, it's seaweed. High in B vitamins. This has 1 gram of fiber, no added sugars. Okay, so we're going to put these in here. I will tell you, I had a scare when I sent these. My son's been eating these for a long time, since he was like 3. And I had a scare because he ended up eating the preserved pack. There's like one of those little silica packets in there to keep them crispy. So if you do some of these with a child, make sure that you have a conversation about that or take that out. Those are my main two that I'm doing. I do have like pistachios and whatnot, but these are my main ones. I think, oh, and did I get all my, I got another olive. You could do green olives. Could do falafel. Like there's a lot of options. There's the hummus. So you have a lot of options. These are the ones that my family likes for now. So this is veggie. And then the only one we're not going to be able to do, because it's obviously refrigerated, is the dairy. And so that would be, I can show you in my fridge. If you do dairy, if you're not doing dairy, that's quite all right too. So, again, they make yogurts, they make individually wrapped cheeses, you could do a chocolate milk, you could do a chocolate non-dairy milk, you could do whatever. And then also, like you could do something like a prepackaged like Cheerios and send it with a chocolate milk or regular milk, and now you've covered grain, fiber, and your dairy. So lots of options. There are many more. I just wanted to get you started. Here's a kind of a peek of how this drawer is coming together. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I will try to post more tips on how to pack healthy snacks in the future. But good luck, and thanks for watching.